Worst Witch Chapter 3. Do you remember I told you about a certain young witch named Ethel who had succeeded in teaching her kitten from the very first try? Ethel was one of those lucky people for whom everything goes right. She was always top of the class, her spells always worked, and Miss Hardroom never made any icy remarks to her. Because of this, Ethel was rather bossy with the other girls. On this occasion, she had overheard the whole of Mildred's encounter with Miss Hardroom and couldn't resist being nasty about it. I think Miss Cackle gave you that cat on purpose. Ethel sneered. You're both as bad as each other. Oh, be quiet, said Mildred, trying to keep her temper. And if it's not a bad cat, I'll learn in time. Like he did. Like you did? Ethel went on. Wasn't it last week that you crashed into the dustbins? Look, Ethel, Mildred said, you would better be quiet, because if you don't, I shall have to turn you into a frog, and I don't want to do that. Ethel gave a shriek of laughter. That's really funny, she crowed. You don't even know the beginner spells, let alone ones like that. Mildred blushed and looked very miserable. Go on then, cried Ethel. Go on. Then, if you're so clear that you can turn me into a frog, I'm waiting. It just so happened that Mildred did have an idea of the spell. She had been reading about it in the library. By now, everyone had crowded round, waiting to see what would happen. And Ethel was still jeering. It was unbearable. Mildred muttered the spell under her breath, and Ethel vanished. In her place stood a small pinky and grey pig. Cries and snouts rent the air. Oh no, that's done it! You've done it now, Mildred. Mildred was horrified. Oh, Ethel, she said, I'm sorry. You did ask for it. Pig looked furious. You beast, Mildred Hubble, it grunted. Change me back, and at that moment Miss Hardroom suddenly appeared in the middle of the yard. Where is Ethel? Hello. Miss Bat would like to see her about extra chanting lessons. Her sharp gaze fell on the small pig, which was grunting softly at her feet. What is this animal doing in the yard? She asked coldly. Everyone looked at Mildred. I let it in, Miss Hardroom, Mildred said hesitantly. Well, you can just let it out again, please. Oh, I can't do that, gasped the unhappy Mildred. Couldn't I keep it as a pet? I think you have quite enough trouble coping with yourself and that kitten without adding a pick to your worries, replied Miss Hardroom, staring at the tabby kitten which was peering round Mildred's ankles. Let it out at once. Now where is Ethel? Mildred bent down. Ethel, dear, she whispered coaxingly into the pig's ear. Will you go out when I go tell you to? Please, Ethel, I'll let you in straight away afterwards. Pleading with people like Ethel never works. It only makes them feel that power. I won't go, bellowed the pig. Miss Hardroom, I am Ethel. Mildred Hubble turned me into a pig. Nothing ever surprised Miss Hardroom. Even this startling piece of news only caused her to raise her one slanting eyebrow. Well, Mildred, I am glad to know that you have at least learned one thing since you came here. However, as you will have noticed in the Witch's Code, Rule number 7, Paragraph 2, it is not customary to practice such tricks on your fellows. Please remove the spell at once. I'm afraid I don't know how to, Mildred confessed in a very small voice. Miss Hardbroom stared at her for a few moments. "Then you had better go and look it up in the library," she said wearily. "Take Ethel with you, and on your way drop in and tell Miss Bat why Ethel will be late." Mildred picked up her kitten and hurried inside, followed by the pig. For fortunately, Miss Bat was not in her room, but it was the most embarrassing going onto the library. Ethel was grunting loudly on purpose, and everyone stared so much that Mildred could have crawled under the table. "Hurry up," moaned the pig. "Oh, stop going on," said Mildred as she flicked nastily through the huge spell book. "It's all your fault anyway. You actually asked me to do it. I don't see why you're complaining. I said a frog, not a pig," said Ethel bitterly. "You couldn't even do that right." Mildred ignored the grunting Ethel and kept looking in the book. It took her half an hour to find the right spell, and soon after that Ethel was her horrible self again. People in the library were most surprised to see the pig suddenly change into a furious-looking Ethel. "Now don't be angry, Ethel," Mildred said softly. "Remember, silence in the library at all times." And she rushed into the corridor. "Wasn't that awful, Cat?" she said to her kitten, which was curled up inside her cardigan. "I think we'd better put you in my room and then go revise for the potion test. Don't tease the bats, will you?" The end. If you like this audiobook, please like, share, and subscribe it. And comment below if you like it. Bye bye. Worst